All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the ASAP Network. My name's Will Polston. Alongside with me are two beautiful gentlemen today. We've got Trey. Trey, how we feeling?
Down in the blues.
Well, we can't all be happy.
I'm excited. We had some good playoff games coming up. A lot of big games today that came down to the wire that I didn't expect. So, yeah, it was a pretty good day. Not going to lie.
All right. We're also here with Michael, the con man. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, con man. How you doing?
I'm doing rather well, guys. Hey, some good games today. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, next week. Next week starts it all off. Next week we are starting playoff football. We will be seeing a couple of matchups. We'll get to that, but first, let's just jump right into. Let's jump right into the t-shirts before we get going. I'm already seeing a couple of comments down there in the comment section. Shout out to y'all. Trey, if they keep it up, I know we're starting a new month. We can get a new viewer of the month. Tell them how they can go about that.
Yes, guys and ladies. Brand new month means all the slate is clean. All you got to do is like, comment, or share our show or whatever episode you're watching. If you have the most likes, comments on for the month, you get that awesome All Sports All Play Network T-shirt, and you'll get it ASAP. By the way.
Yeah, don't forget, if you can't make the show or you are a little bit hesitant in the comment section, go ahead and reach out one of us. $14.99 plus shipping and handling. Get your own ASAP Network t-shirt. Someone's got bad feedback. Is that you, Con? We may need to have you keep it on mute while you're not talking, just because you got a little bit of feedback there. It may be you.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
There we go.
Go ahead.
We good now?
No. You got it on mute? Listen, I just don't want to. There we go. That's better. That was better there. Yeah. We'll go to you whenever. I'll let you know whenever we're talking. Hold it on mute right now. There we go. All right. So just because a little bit of feedback, you may need headphones or something. I'm not sure what the case is, but let's jump right into the games. Nate, go ahead, bring up the PowerPoint. See where we're at here. I don't remember which game we're starting off with first. I want to say Minnesota, Detroit, but let's see. We're not even in presentation mode. We're starting off. All right. We've made it. Minnesota and Detroit. We'll hit up this game real quick. No playoff implications, nothing to do with this game. Matt Stafford was playing hurt in this game. Shout out to him for really toughing it out, coming out, and for some reason putting his career on the line for the Detroit Lions, who have done nothing for him. Dalvin Cook not in this game, but the Vikings made something happen. Trey, why don't you take us through your thought process for this?
Man, you took it right through my. I was going to talk about Matt Stafford and put it on the line for absolutely no reason whatsoever. The only reason I can think he was actually playing is try to make him look good so he can become a starting quarterback for a playoff contending team next year. I think they need to move on from him, but I think Kirk Cousins is down in Minnesota as well. I think they need to move on from him. He's not a great quarterback, but this game, I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly didn't watch this game. I didn't pay attention to this game. No playoff implications, just draft picks. Shout out to the Vikings for winning your final game, I guess.
Con man, we'll turn it over to you. Do you have any additional thoughts on this game between the Vikings and the Lions? Oh, make sure to unmute yourself, buddy.
Playoff implications, and I think that the Vikings were playing with a heavy heart, but they came on with the win, 37-35. But again, not a big deal. Not at all.
All righty. I mean, nothing really came from this game. Oh, get my feedback again, Mike. It really is going to have to be. I'm assuming it's probably going to be a thing where you may need headphones just to keep it that way. It's just not echoing. But I until then, we're just probably going to have you play mute tag with yourself, unfortunately. But we'll see exactly as this goes on. But yeah, this game meant nothing. I mean, Stafford playing in this game meant nothing. Really, this game was just the nothing fest. It was just not. It was not great. I mean, sure, entertaining score when you're looking at it 37-35, but nothing really comes of it. It ultimately means literally nothing other than draft positioning. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Yeah, all right. Wow, all right. The blowout game. The Bucks coming out 44-27 over the Falcons, a game that we probably all kind of expected here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were trying to keep that number 5 spot in lock, and ultimately they have done so with this victory. They will be taking on either the New York Giants or the Washington football team. We will see. We'll get into why it's those teams here in a second. But Con Man, I'm going to go to you. I'm going to go to you first. What were your thoughts from Tampa Bay in this game? Do you think they looked a lot better? I know they've been struggling, not as of late, but they did have that weird skid in the middle of the season. So how do you like the Bucs going in after watching this game?
The Tampa Bay, man, they came out to play today. I'm really impressed with the way Brady's playing, and the team seems like they're getting their offense together along with their defense. Antonio Brown looked very good. The wide receivers are playing excellent. They got a great running game. I think they're hitting all cylinders. I think they'll be ready for the playoffs.
All righty. Trey, any additional thoughts?
Okay, so this game, even though the score doesn't look that close, it was actually a close game going into the fourth quarter. It took 21 points from the fourth quarter. Falcons were actually only down by 3 points going to the late in the third quarter. So it was actually a pretty close game than what it said. But I'm impressed with what Tampa Bay's doing, not from this week, but from a couple of weeks before as well. Looks like the receivers and Tom Brady are starting to get their little sync going. A little scared today with Mike Evans. We're hoping, praying that the MRI only shows a hyperextension to him. But man, Tom Brady almost threw for 400 yards, 4 TD. He had one pick. But if they get the run game going, if they get the receivers happy, if you get this offense is elite. This offense can go up against anybody. Do I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No. But shout out to the Buccaneers for making the playoffs. First time they've done it in 12 years, I think.
Since 2002.
Yeah.
No.
2002? No.
Wrong. I think I'm thinking of the Browns.
Yeah, I think it's 12. No, Browns haven't made since 2003. And
Bucks haven't done it since 2008. That's what it is.
Yes. So 12 years.
Yeah,
so,
or 07, 08 year, whatever. Who cares? It's
been a long time.
It's 2021 right now, and they're in the playoffs. Shut up. All right, that's all you need to know. They're the 5 seed. They're going in. It's happening. The streak is broken. All right, but you had mentioned that Mike Evans a hyperextension, at least as of right now. That's what we know. Hoping for the best from the MRI. I'll ask you, Trey, since you brought it up. Do you think Mike Evans being in and out really? Do you think that'd be the difference maker in this game against the NFC East team, or do you think some team already has it pretty handily?
I think the Buccaneers have it. Well, I will say this. I think if they play the Giants, it's a wrap. The Giants they shouldn't be in the playoffs 6-10. The only bright spot is their defense, but their defense is mediocre at best. You can't count on Danny Dimes. But Washington's defense is one of the best in the league. I think they can keep it close, but I think Tom Brady and I think they're clicking on all cylinders right now. I just think that even without Mike, I honestly think Mike Evans can sit out this game and they'll still win the game pretty handily. That's the way I feel about it.
All righty, let's move on to the next one, Nate. See what else we got in store here. Oh, yeah, baby. Jets, Patriots. Everybody's favorite game of the week, by the way. Wow. Fun times in Gillette Stadium, to say the least. The Jets, shout out to them for trying. It was fun to watch. And shout out to Cam Newton for actually passing touchdowns. Did he make me eat my words? Sure. Is he still good? No. Okay. But we're gonna move on. Trey, let's get your opinions on this game real quick.
I mean, Congratulations, Cam Newton. You showed everyone you can throw the ball. He was 21 for 30 for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. But you're still not the same Cam Newton. This is basically just a feel-good game for the New England Patriots. They don't want to go out on a losing way, but they still went up. First losing record they've had in a while. New York Jets had a feel-good story for 2 weeks, and it felt like, all right, the Jets like, all right, we felt good for 2 weeks. Let's just shut it down and get ready for Cancun. So, there's nothing besides Cam Newton throwing the ball for 3 touchdowns. It proved all of us wrong that he can actually throw the football again. Nothing else to see here.
I would like to say to everybody saying the Jets were on a 2-game winning streak, it is not a winning streak until you hit 3. Okay.
No.
Don't give the Jets.
What is a 2-game? What is it then?
Then you just won back-to-back games. It's not
a win streak.
No,
it's a win.
Wrong.
You got streaks somewhere in the line.
If you win 1 game, is that a 1-game winning streak?
No, because you haven't won multiple. The streak means multiple, right?
Oh, get out of here. Con, I'll ask you, Cam Newton, put up 3 passing touchdowns in his final game. But throughout the rest of the season, honestly, pretty lackluster numbers from Cam. It is said, reports are saying that they are expected to part ways next year, Cam Newton and the Patriots, that is. Do you think Cam Newton is going to be a starting quarterback next season?
Yes, I do. And want me to tell you who I think he's going to be a starting quarterback for? The Patriots.
Really?
I'm out here in New England. I'm in the area. I know a few things, and I think he's going to be back playing for New England. I think Bill Belichick really respects him. He likes him a lot. Do I agree? No. But I think that he will be playing quarterback for New England.
Really?
Yes.
Trey?
No way. No freaking way. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Bill Belichick is done with this experiment. I hope you're wrong because I do like Cam Newton. I think that Josh McDaniels doesn't play to his strength. Let's just be honest. Tom Brady may be what Josh McDaniels was. We all saw what Josh McDaniels did in Denver and everything. If anything, Josh McDaniels needs to go and then put a new quarterback. But we all know what's going to happen here. We all know Carson Wentz is going to find his way to New England, and he's going to be the starting quarterback because Carson Wentz is already asking for trades. Says his relationship with Doug Peterson is unrepairable. We all know what's happening. The writing's on the wall. Bill Belichick's going to get his guy. I'm sorry. There's no way they're bringing back Cam Newton. I'm sorry.
Trey, you don't see him going back to you don't see him going back with Frank Reich in Indianapolis?
No, I think I could see that, but honestly, we all know the New England Patriots always get their way, though.
That's fair.
They like Antonio, even though he didn't show, they got Antonio Brown for nothing. They get all these stud players for nothing, even though Carson Wentz is going to cost them a pretty penny. Bill Belichick doesn't like to play, but I think we all saw without a good quarterback what the New England. You got to get, but let's just be honest with ourselves. New England Patriots is not the quarterback. I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. They don't have a receiver.
Accurate.
Harry was supposed to be a number 1. He's a total bust for a number 1. He could probably be a potential number 3. Myers is your number 1 this year, who is a backup quarterback. He was a quarterback in college. They converted him to wide receiver. They don't draft. That's one thing Bill Belichick does not do well is draft well, and I don't understand why he doesn't draft wide receivers. But they need another wide receiver. They need multiple wide receivers.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird dilemma out there in New England, but they've got a lot of question marks to figure out in this upcoming season, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We'll see exactly what they do. The Jets, it's just a matter of time. Really, the only question with the Jets becomes: are they going to take a quarterback, or are they going to take offensive line and stick with Darnold? So, what's your point on that one, Trey?
I was going to point out this. I totally forgot. Justin Fields in that semifinal made a case that if you're picking number 2, you might want to pick Justin Fields. There was skeptic. Honestly, he gives you better options than what Donald does, or Donald, whatever his freaking name is.
Whoever,
Yeah, it's not relevant. Come on, let's just be honest with ourselves. He could be a good backup quarterback, but he was a bust. He's a bust at number 1. He should have never been the number 1 starting quarterback. They tried, they failed, but you cannot pass up on Justin Fields. This dude, you see what he can do with his legs. You can see what he do with his arm. He threw 6 touchdown passes. If you're the Jets, you're not trading that pick. You need Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields might be number 1. I'm just saying.
maybe an Ohio State quarterback will be good for once. Let's move on to the next slide, Nate. See what game we got here on store. Oh, baby. No one circles those wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Talk about a team that thought they were only going to play for a quarter. Wrong. The Bills just came out and said, no, Miami, not you. And they just made sure that they're not going to the postseason. Buffalo decided to play spoiler today. Shout out dropping 56 over to 26 over the Miami Dolphins. This was a fun game to watch if you were me, because I enjoyed this. I can't stand Tua. I still don't like Tua. And Fitzmagic wasn't there to help him out and be his back brace in this game. And he wasn't there to bail him out and keep Miami in it. And it really showed that that's the case. I mean, the Bills didn't have to go out here and drop 56 like that, but 26, you're hoping 26 points wins you a football game. But I mean, come on, let's all be real with ourselves. It's we're known for higher scoring games nowadays. I don't think you're seeing as much defense. It's a bit more aerated game. We're go more through the pass, and that's something Tua doesn't. For a quarterback, doesn't typically do pretty well, which is awkward. Conman, I'll go to you. Let's get your opinions on this game between Miami and Buffalo.
Put up some good numbers, but Buffalo obviously they came out to send a message. 56 points. I didn't expect them to be playing as well as they've been playing, but apparently they're ready to go too. Buffalo really shocked me. I didn't think they were going to play that good. You know what I mean? But overall, they played really good. I got no complaints.
Trey, I'll turn it over to you. 30 or between the 38 points last week, 56 this week, 94 points in 2 games for the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, that's a really high offensive mark to keep going. But are you confident that they have what it takes after watching this game and the ending of the season that Buffalo could make a serious run in this playoffs?
Oh, yeah. I've said it. I think I said it last Monday night if you watched the Sports Corner. I think that they're a real threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the only AFC team that I think has a real threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone's saying Baltimore, but give me a break. Kansas City Chiefs have they dominated that matchup the last 2 years with Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Let's just be truthful to ourselves. The Buffalo Bills have just as many weapons as the Kansas City Chiefs. I sorry.
Love the Bills team, man. I love the play.
That's Stephon Diggs, or the Diggs move of the year. Oh, to beat them over the top. The only question mark I do have is the run game. The run game needs to be a little bit better. But, man, if you get that defense sharpening up, Josh Allen is playing out of his freaking mind right now. He made a strong case today for MVP. I think it might be a little too late, but he's one quarterback out of these quarterback classes that has progressed better each year. Maybe Dak Prescott has as well, but these young quarterbacks, he's the one who's actually progressed. And you called it him coming out of Wyoming that he was going to be a good quarterback. I just didn't trust the Buffalo Bills to save my life on that. But Sean McDermott doing a heck of a job being the head coach. I honestly think, man, and I'm going to say this, shout out to New York, the state of New York, for letting Buffalo Bill fans in the game next week in the playoff. Thank you. They deserve it. Bills Mafia deserves it. First home game. Man, but I'm telling you, Buffalo Bills I'm telling you, mark it down. Buffalo Bills the only threat to Kansas City this year.
I'm right there with you, Trey. I love watching this Bills team, man. Really the only difference in this team is the additions of was Cole Beasley there last year? I don't think he was. I think he was. Yes. So really the only key addition that they have is Stephon Diggs, and they get a 3-win improvement because of it. They jump from 10-6 to 13-3 just like that. I mean, yeah, this Patriots team looks a little bit different than they did last year, but still, the Buffalo Bills just jumped right up there. They went dominant, and I mean, they had the Miami Dolphins hanging around way better than they did last year too. So it's not like it was an easy division by any means. Like we said, Miami was right there for a lot of the season. So Buffalo looks amazing, and I'm right there with you. I think Buffalo stands a hell of a chance when it comes into the AFC Championship game if they can make it that far. I mean, obviously, we're not going to count our eggs, But I think if Buffalo manages to get the right matchups, I wouldn't be shocked to see them do a nice little run here going forward. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next game. See what else we got on the old trolley here. Good game. The Browns and the Steelers, 24-22 for the Browns. Browns secure their first playoff spot since only Cleveland fans know. Since forever ago, since ancient history. We used to read about these times in U.S. history in my textbook in high school. The Browns have made it to the playoffs. Congratulations, Browns. You did it. You almost were a 10-win team who didn't, and that would have been funny. But alas, you were 5. Go the Browns. The Steelers sitting at the number 3 spot, winners of the AFC North. And we'll see this matchup right again next week. The Browns and Steelers are going right back at it. We're waiting to see what all is going to happen. Obviously, I'd imagine Big Ben's going to be back for this game next week, but we'll get to that later. Let's just talk about this game first. Trey, what were your thoughts on this one?
Man, I was watching this game, and I was thinking to myself, watch the Browns, because they were up 2 double digits late in the fourth quarter. And watch the Browns get stopped here on 3rd down, and Pittsburgh goes down and kicks a field goal, and they don't make the playoffs. That'd be so Brown. and all I had to do was beat the Jets last week. But hats off to Baker Mayfield and company. They got it done. You beat a Kyle Rudolph team. Good job.
Takes a lot.
Without their stud defensive lineman, without their top cornerback, and so basically they all stayed at home, and basically they got to get rested and get healthy while y'all barely pushed and barely. But I'm just being all funny outside. I think that this is actually going to be a good matchup next week. I think if the receivers are back for Baker Mayfield, I think if the running game shores up and everyone's off the COVID list, that's a big if. If people are off that COVID list, then I could possibly see the Browns getting an upset over the Pittsburgh Steelers next week for sure. That run game is dangerous. You have Kurt hit a Munster and Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb at that. They both rush over 1,000 yards. They're both studs. They both could all pros respectfully. That offensive line is getting better each week. Baker Mayfield, I don't trust him, but if he has any games like he had those 3 weeks ago, those back-to-back good games, Browns are a scary team, so watch out for the Browns. But congratulations to the Browns and your fans. City of Cleveland, you deserved it. Now, hopefully we can win a playoff game.
Give a shout out to Pittsburgh Steelers, your Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Browns, because they decided to sit their starters where the Buffalo Bills said, no, Dolphins, you're not going to the playoffs. They just said, no, That's not happening. The Pittsburgh Steelers really gave you a layup there, and I think it's because they want to face you next week. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Conman, let's get your opinions on this. Obviously the Steelers missing a couple of pieces today because they were resting for the playoff spot. What do you think this game? Do you think this game's going to look similar, along with Trey saying that the Browns could contend against them next week, or do you think this is the Steelers' game to lose next week?
To lose next week. Again, kudos to Cleveland for making the playoffs, but I think in the playoff situation, I'm gonna go with Big Ben. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh without question.
All righty. Fair enough. I mean, he's been there enough times to where it's hard to doubt him. It really is. But and I want to say, obviously it's Baker's first time being in the postseason. So we'll see exactly how that goes. But this Browns team is really interesting. Whenever it comes down to it, a lot of the times whenever you get into the playoffs, it comes down to having a great running back. And that's something the Steelers do not have. And the Browns have 2 of them. And so they can make the running attack work. It's going to come down to really, I mean, we know the running game should do well. It's going to come down to if Baker Mayfield can find a way to pass over the middle of the field with all those secondary linebackers in, because now Bud Dupree's out. We know Devin Bush is out. They've had some losses on the defensive side, that being the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it really comes down to if Baker Mayfield can make the play when he needs to make the play. But if not, the Browns should. I mean, honestly, they should do just fine, but we'll see. Obviously the COVID list has been a big thing. The Browns had their whole facility shut down this week. So it was really a big question mark for Cleveland, but they found a way to pull it out. So hats off to the Browns. Congratulations, finally making the playoffs. We'll see how well you can do next week facing the same opponent. So Nate, go ahead, flip us over to the next slide. Oh, Trey, you like this game. Trey loved this game, by the way.
Mhm.
Dallas Cowboys, and nobody is a fan of the New York Giants because, at least not on this network. Trey, I mean, I have to go to you first. I really do. Just talk a little bit, man. Let's hear your thoughts.
Kind of bittersweet, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was PO'd. I was PO'd after the game, right after the game. I threw my tab. I'm like, I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboy fan. But then I took a deep breath. I looked at my beautiful daughter, who's 2 years old. I was like, life is gonna be good. This is a bad year. We shouldn't have been in this position. Thanks to the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants for not winning their games. The only reason we were allowed to be in this position. So there's that. We get a good draft pick. So we have a lot of up-and-coming stars. We have CD Lamb, who's going to be a stud wide receiver in this league. Our Trayvon Diggs, the second cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be a stud shutdown. He's got better each week. Going along. So our second, I think another year, understand, because they changed the defense, a totally different scheme of defense, and without OTAs, training camps, anything like that, they all had to go on the fly. But I was thinking to myself, Andy Dalton at the 10-yard line, 150 to go in the game, first down. And I was like, okay, is this the same Dallas Cowboys team with Jason Garrett, or is this the same old 25-year curse that we've been having? And it's the same 25-year-old curse. What the heck are we doing running or throwing the football when it's 1st and 10 and Zeke Elliott's been running it? It could have been pushing for yards. Had a really good, even though he had 43 yards, if you watch the game, he had some hard-nosed running yards. He was wearing out that defense. Yeah, Pallett, why are you dropping back five-step drop back and getting sack and basically taking? Now, CD Lamb did have a crucial drop on that second down. But my gosh, and the only way this game ended was in typical Dallas. Giants get a first down to seal it. The Giants running back, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, knocks it out.
Oh,
himself.
God. Yeah.
Knocked him out himself, sits on the ball, and the referees call that possession.
I remember that. It's so bad.
Oh, it's like it's starting to come funny as a Dallas Cowboy fan. Not one of these delusional fans who think we're going to win Super Bowl every year, but a true NFL fan, historian of the game like myself. It's just funny. Like, you don't think the Dallas Cowboys can lose any different way? Like, they keep finding new ways to lose after 25 years. It's kind of funny after a while, you know? But I think next year's going to be a good year. I'm not saying we're going to do great, but we're getting back. We're getting offensive line back. We're basically playing without our third string offensive line. So I think they need to get rid of Zeke Elliott. That's my hot take right now. They need to get rid of Zeke. He's not worth $90 million. Free up some cap room on that as well.
Hey, there you go. There is a hot take. You know, Zeke, not including this year, but, we've seen him every single year go down in yards per carry, but typically he's still been up there as one of the better running backs. This year was just a big, significant drop off all the way down to, 66 yards a game or somewhere around there, somewhere around the average. So
200-yard games, that's
only
it.
Two. That's not.
And had 6 fumbles.
Hey, more fumbles than 100-yard games. You take that out of every running back, Con, we'll turn it over to you. Obviously, the Giants currently, the writing is on the wall. It really comes down to Washington tonight. Do you think? Let me get your opinions on this. Do you think the Giants will have this division at the end of today, or do you think the football team is going to pull it out against the Eagles?
There's no doubt in my mind that the Washington team will definitely pull it out. I'm just not really comfortable with the Giants at all. I think Washington's going to pull it out. I think their quarterback situation is a little bit shaky right now, but I think that they'll definitely win tonight against Philly, and I think we're definitely going to see Washington. Definitely.
I can tell you from experience today, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. If it's your time to win, it's your time to win. I can't wait to get to that game. Nate, go ahead and flip the slide. Let's see what's next. Did I segue perfect? Oh, I did. Oh, man.
You kind of did.
I don't even want to talk about this game. This game was a blowout, 38-3. Ravens solidify their spot in there. I mean, really, it's what we expected, if we're going to be honest. I don't think anybody's really shocked. Maybe, if anything, you're shocked that the Bengals only put up 3, but even then, you're probably not that shocked. You didn't have them scoring much more. The Ravens are starting to look better. They're hot as of late. At least some people think that. I can see, Trey, you're already shaking your head. I'm assuming you're not buying into the hype of the Baltimore Ravens.
No, why do the Baltimore Ravens get a pass against crappy teams and no one else does? Dallas had an easy schedule and they won 3 straight against lesser opponents, and they're like, oh, they play crappy teams. Look who the freaking Baltimore Ravens have played besides the Cleveland Browns. The New York Jets, Jacksonville, Bengals. Give me a freaking break.
They had a very soft end of their schedule.
They did. You can thank the NFL schedule makers for that. Now, we'll say this. It's going to a rematch for last year's NFL playoff from last year, Derrick Henry versus Lamar Jackson. So it's going to be a lot of running. I'm just telling you, I don't trust this Baltimore Ravens. All you got to do, I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson at being a thrower. I'm really not. He's faster than fast can be. He's the Flash. I don't care. He cannot throw the ball accurately throughout the whole game. That's what you're going to have to do to prove me wrong. You're going to have to throw I'm stacking the ball out of the box. I'm playing one-on-one. Yes, Hollywood Brown can beat me over the top 1 or 2 times, but he's not going to do it consistently. Guarantee you that. Not letting Lamar Jackson in that run game beat me. You're going to have to prove. If he beats me throwing the ball, shake your hand. All right, you prove me wrong. But until you see it more accurately, there's no way. I just don't trust this Baltimore Ravens team.
Hollywood Brown can beat you over the top. That's definitely true. But he always forgets that one crucial part where you're supposed to catch the ball. And that's usually pretty important, really, if we're going to be honest, as a wide receiver. But yeah, I mean, the good thing about the Ravens, whenever you're looking at it, obviously they have a good defense. You know, they've always had a good defense. They've been phenomenal throughout the year. And then not only that, but they finally told Mark Ingram to shove it, and they finally just decided to go with J.K. Dobbins, who's been amazing.
Thank God.
What's that?
I said thank God, because he's a lot better running back.
Absolutely. I mean, finally, Mark Ingram is no longer being shoved down all of our NFL fans' throats. We're finally getting to watch J.K. Dobbins, who's been young, electric. He's been fun to watch out of that Baltimore backfield. Conman, I'll turn it over to you. Are you buying into the hype of the Baltimore Ravens? They do have to face the Tennessee Titans round 1. Are you confident in this team going into the playoffs, or are you a little bit hesitant on them?
I'm confident, but that's a tough first-round matchup. That's a very tough matchup. I'm probably going to lean towards Tennessee with their running game. But Baltimore, I mean, they're playing pretty good. And I think you guys are a little tough on Lamar. I think you guys are a little too tough on Lamar. He's played pretty well the second half of the season. But,
my God.
I think so. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Tennessee, though. You guys are too.
Trey's about to have an aneurysm. Let's move on before it goes bad. Next slide, please, Nate. There you go. Sticking in. Speaking of the Tennessee Titans, their divisional rival, the Indianapolis Colts, were able to hold off the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-14. At a point, the Colts were winning 20-0. Jags make it all the way back to 20-14. It was looking just like week 1, and it was kind of terrifying. I'm not going to lie. In a house in not too far outside of Indy, in a house with an Indianapolis Colts fan, it was awkward in here. I'm not going to lie, but the Colts were able to hold it off. The Colts are going to be in the playoffs as the number 7 seed, and they will be taking on the Buffalo Bills as they circle the wagons out there. We will see exactly how the Colts play, but man, I tell you what, if the one thing you need to keep an eye out for on this team, and it was shown today, was Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor had an explosive game. Trey, will get your opinions on Jay Taylor, the Colts, and this game overall.
Man, if you're a Colts fan, I'm not talking. You are, first off, I want to bet y'all have no fingernails left. It got close, and the Jacksonville Jaguars were down 6 in the fourth quarter, and they were at your own in the Colts territory. Mm-hmm. It was looking kind of, oh, great, you're great. But not only that, you get the win, but then you have the Texans make this miraculous comeback over the Titans, and you might get the number 4 seed and host a playoff game.
I'm not gonna lie, it was weird in our house watching the ending of that game. Then we switched to Titans because the Rams game was already done, so we weren't worried about us anymore. We switched to Titans Texans, and that was fun to watch. I mean, it was just it's been interesting to say the least in here.
Right.
A lot of mood swings.
But yeah, going to Taylor, man, he's a steal of the draft for the Colts. He's the number one running back. He's gonna be the number one running back in the next couple of years. He's young, he's great. I mean, he had 30 carries for 253 yards. Yes, we all know Derrick Henry had a great game, over 250 yards as well today too. But this is a young and upcoming. So he can juke you, he can run you over, he can catch the ball. He's electrifying, man. He's really fun to watch. But man, if you're an Indianapolis Colt fan, you really wanted that number 4 seed, because I'm sorry to tell you, with Phillip Rivers going to cold, brittle Bills Mafia in Buffalo, it's not. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't trust Phillip Rivers. He's too wildly inaccurate. He's old. He looks old at times, but then there's times he actually looks good. But I think Bills Mafia, I think they're gonna. I was really hoping y'all would get the number 4 seed, but Tennessee pulled it out of their butts. So congratulations. I don't think you have any chance against Buffalo, though. I'm sorry.
The expectations for this team were, I mean, I think they were honestly lower than what they hit. I mean, I don't think a lot of people, especially whenever they signed Phillip Rivers to be the guy this season, I think they were almost looking at it as more of a bridge. But Phillip Rivers came in, good enough, apparently, 11-5. You can't complain with 11-5 no matter what team you're on. I know you're only the 7 seed, but that just kind of speaks to how stacked the AFC is. They are very top heavy whenever you're looking at them. But Con Man, I'll turn it over to you. Obviously, the Colts played well today. We've seen them play well whenever it comes to the defensive front, one of the top defenses in the league. But the Buffalo Bills, one of the top scoring offenses in the league. That's going to be the playoff matchup next week. The Colts going to Buffalo to face the Bills. Where do you sit? Are you leaning Buffalo or are you leaning Indianapolis?
I'm not leaning. I'm falling over Buffalo. I'm not leaning. I'm falling over. Buffalo is stacked. It's a good story about Rivers, going to Indy in his first year. But I think that Buffalo got too much. They're playing at home, number one. Number two, their ground game is good. And the quarterback is playing great. I'm going Buffalo all the way. In that game, in that game.
Fair enough. I think that's probably the general consensus pick whenever you're looking at it. Apparently, there has been a report to come out to say that Phillip Rivers will retire if he doesn't return to the Colts. I'm not sure how likely that is. We'll see exactly what all it is. We know Phillip Rivers only on a 1-year deal, so we'll see the future of Phillip Rivers. I'm sure. I mean, typically there's always we hear word about retirement typically pretty quick, unless you're Andrew Luck, you retire in the middle of a game. So, we'll shout out to the Colts, but we'll see exactly what happens. So, Nate, go ahead, move on to the next slide. Speaking of which, this game gave me a heart attack. Man, this game was actually, for some reason, fun to watch. Whenever you're sitting there watching it at first, Derrick Henry is just taking 52-yard runs to the house, and he's just finding the biggest gaps in the world, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible. And then I guess J.J. Watt's word actually means a little bit something out there in Texas. They were sitting there at least, hey, they gave a good, Trey, don't give me that look. There's no reason this game should be this close. Let's be honest.
Had nothing to do with the defense.
Oh, I don't care what that. He yelled at the offense, so I'm going to kill you all if you don't do anything. You think Deshaun Watson wants to be sacked 7 more times? I don't think he does. And so, it has nothing to do with the defense, obviously, but the offense finally stepped up. They finally looked good. A very good game. I mean, I'm going to go to you first, Trey. Obviously, it all came down to that final field goal, and Sam Sloman literally dings it off of the upright, and it manages to go in, literally holding on by the skin of their teeth. Terrible game, really, but it was very entertaining whenever it came down to it. Tennessee going up against Baltimore. I've heard you be tough on Lamar. I've heard you be tough on the Titans. I want your opinion. Where are you leaning for that one?
I'm leaning Tennessee on this one just because Tennessee's at home, and I think Henry's going to have a field day. No, I think Baltimore's going to come in with a revenge cycle. Lamar might have a good first half, but I don't trust Lamar and Mike Vrabel is a very, very good. He might not show it this year, but he's very well coached. He knows the weaknesses, and that's what got him far last year in the playoffs too, because he takes your strengths away and makes you beat the weaknesses. Something Bill Belichick always did. He learned that from Bill Belichick. He's going to stack that box. I'm telling you right now. He's going to let Lamar. If Lamar Jackson beats you throwing the ball 51 times and has a field day 5, then telling you, tip your hat to him. But he has yet to prove to me or anyone else that he can beat you throwing the ball. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I think Henry's going to have a field day. A.J. Brown is a beast at wide receiver. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I think that defense is going to come around, especially at home. I think they're going to have little fans there to give them a little bit of push. It's going to be closer than last year, but I think Tennessee's going to win this game in double digits still. I think Tennessee's got them by 10 points.
You mentioned A.J. Brown. This win does not happen without A.J. Brown, man.
Oh,
he
my God.
Hell of a catch at the end of the game. I mean, right over his shoulder. Phenomenal catch. Terrible coverage. Absolute blown coverage. But A.J. Brown really went up there and went and got it. He made that throw look a lot better than it actually was. An amazing catch to set up the win. Conman, I'll turn it over to you. Do you think I'm going to go with you the same question here? Tennessee Titans, Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, the Titans have a lot of offensive firepower behind Derrick Henry, and the Ravens have a big rushing attack as well. Which way are you leaning whenever it comes to this game?
I think whichever team controls the ground game has a perfect opportunity to win. Obviously, you want to maximize your ground game and you want to minimize your turnovers. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be, like you said, they're going to put the box on the Ravens to see what he can do. But if I had to choose, I'm going to go with Tennessee. They have the great running game. Henry's playing out of his mind. I think Tennessee will win, but it's going to be a close game. I don't see Forest being a high-scoring game at all.
Fair enough. Derrick Henry, I wanted to let you know that even though you could bowl me over, I hate you because you scored all this points this week and not last week in my fantasy championship. I'm coming for you, and you're just going to truck me and stiff arm me out of the way, but I am coming for you. Let's go to the next game. Let's turn it on over. No.
There we go. There we go.
Now we're talking. Here's a game. Oh, man. Rams 18-7. My new favorite quarterback of all time, John Wolford. You heard the name right. I didn't stutter. Not Jared Goff. That guy didn't play. And that's why the Rams won. But let's actually get into it. John Wolford making his first career start. I don't even know how to pronounce the fella's name who came in relief for Kyler Murray. I know he started the game, missed quite a bit of time. I think it's Strell. Is it Strelver? Strellever? It doesn't matter. He lost. Shout out to the John Wolford in his first career game, coming out and winning a game. Honestly, shocked me. I didn't know he had wheels like that. He did very well on the run too. He did a pretty decent on the run whenever he came down to it. Honestly, in the passing game, I mean, other than the one interception, it could have been a worse game. Didn't honestly look too horrible. Did what he needed to get it done. Obviously, it really comes down to the defense. The defense ended up scoring 8 points between a safety and a pick six. But the Rams defense showed to prevail, especially when they needed it most. They really came in and they got this W here to hold their division rivals out of the playoffs and solidify the Rams in that number 6 seed. They will be going to take on the Seattle Seahawks, another divisional rival in which we've seen some interesting games between them this season. Trey, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think of John Wolford first coming out? What were your thoughts on him?
Looked kind of dicey there at first. I was like, oh, great. This is going to be a long day.
The interception didn't look great. I'll tell you what.
I was like, oh, my God. I feel bad for Will right now seeing at home because of the Bears situation. But I will say this, man. I didn't know he had wheels either. I've seen a little highlights. I didn't know he could run like that. The guy had 6 carries for 56 yards. I mean, this dude is the leading rusher for the team. But let's just be honest with you. The injury bug hit both teams late at the wrong time. I feel like we got gypped out of a game. Now, I'm not a big Jared Goff fan. I'm totally against Jared Goff. I think that Sean McVay is going to move on from Jared Goff and the next year after that because he's not a big fan of Jared Goff either. And we saw why. Sean McVay can do anything with a quarterback. And we saw that with Wolford. He had 231 yards. One bad interception, mind you. But his very
first pass in the NFL was a pick, and then he settled in.
Yeah, he he was studying finance last week. I'm just saying. I mean,
right.
but
I mean,
without the Arizona and Kyle Murray got hurt in the first quarter. There was no Larry Fitzgerald. Mind you, he's old, but he gives him that little mid-range passing game right there. Yeah, and then they didn't have Cameron Kirk as well either. So injury bug kind of hit him a little bit, but hats off to. But if you just win games before the final week, you don't have to put yourself in that situation. Just telling every team that. You know. But I want to preview the game a little bit. I'm actually going to pick the Rams to beat the Seahawks. I truly am. That Rams defense is for real. Jalen Ramsey, hats off to him. I didn't think he was the best quarterback in the league. He is the best cornerback in the league. I'm telling you that. He can shut down. He can guard any. He's not going to stop any. Like he's not going to stop a DeMar Hopkins or a DJ Metcalf, but he's going to make their life a living hell. I'll tell you that. And he can back up the smack talk, but the Rams always play the Seahawks great. There's going to be no fans in the 12th man this year. I think the Rams are going to pull it off. And I hate saying that because I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. And I will change my mind. If Jared Goff is going to play, then Seahawks are going to win. If Jared Goff doesn't play, I think the Rams are going to win.
John Wolford is in, and you are taking the Rams. That's awesome. That's amazing. That sounds like some hot take I'd do. Conman, we'll turn it over to you. Obviously, the Rams were able to pull it off with a backup quarterback, and that's nice. And we don't exactly know where Jared Goff is upcoming next week. Do you see the Rams winning this next game contingent on their quarterback, or are you just heavy on Seattle? Oh, don't forget to unmute your mic, Buck. You were doing so good.
You had to ask me this about.
Oh, you hit it and hit it again. You're mute again. One time.
I think he froze.
Did we lose him? Oh no, he's still there. You just haven't unmuted your mic yet, boss. Oh no.
There now. Oh, go. Sorry about that, guys. You know, you asked me about 3 weeks ago. I was in Seattle, but you know the way the Rams defense is playing right now, I'm gonna roll with the Rams. I hate to say it because I originally picked Seattle, but I'm gonna roll with the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you were looking at this game of Seattle today, I mean, it didn't really give you a lot of confidence, to be honest. And we're going to get to that game here later. But yeah, I mean, this Rams defense, I've been saying it since I want to say week 5, week 6. They're legit. This Rams defense is legit. Jalen Ramsey, as mentioned by Trey, an absolute phenomenal corner. We all know who Aaron Donald is. I mean, if you don't know, he'll let you know. This defense is just absolutely phenomenal whenever you're breaking it down, really. And it may just be a couple of key pieces for just playing and escalating everybody else's play. But for some reason, there's players on this team who they've been performing out of their mind, and they've been a very good unit overall. So, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the Rams too. You know what? John Wolford, Jared Goff. I don't care who you are. Yeah, I do. Jared Goff's gonna lose. I'm right there with Trey. Actually, you know what? Trey, if Goff's in this game, they're gonna lose. But John Wolford has brought me. I tell you what, best Rams quarterback, never lost a start in his career. But that's besides the point. So we'll get on to the next game. Go ahead and flip it over. I already know what it is. Yeah. Who cares? Next. No, I'm kidding. This game I said was going to be closer, and it kind of wasn't. It was just less points. The Bears, we did what we do, but who cares? Duh, playoffs. Shout out to the Rams. They really held us in there. Really needed you there, bud, and you really showed up. Shout out to the Rams, originally the St. Louis Rams. That's awesome. Love St. Louis, not far from my hometown. But let's all be honest with ourselves. This was a tough game. The Packers looked great, but I think it's exactly the game we expected. Really, I don't think anybody's really kind of shocked by this one. I mean, the Packers solidify themselves as the first round bye. The Bears will be sliding in the 7th spot thanks to the Rams beating the Cardinals. They will be taking on the New Orleans Saints. Let's talk about the Packers a little bit first. Obviously, Trey and I, not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fans on the network, that's for sure. But let's talk about him a little bit. Do you think, sitting at the number 1 seed, do you think they're the team to beat in the NFC?
Who, me?
Yes, you are Trey.
Sorry, I was reading the stats from Aaron Rodgers, who, was not very impressive today by my book. But if you just watch the game, if you just linger and look at the stat line, yeah, he had a great game. He had 4 touchdown passes. That little stat, whatever. I'm going to shut up. But anyway,
don't worry, Freddie's not in the comments. You can be hurtful.
Oh, thank God. He's probably watching his Lakers get smacked. But anyway, no. This game was actually pretty close going to the fourth quarter. The Bears are right there, going to punch it in. And they do some stupid crap on 4th and 1 and throw the ball instead of give it to your All-American running back, which I don't understand whatsoever. But I'm not going to rain on Will's parade. They got in. Thank God, right? Because we couldn't handle 2 mad people today. But I think, man, it's tough. The NFC's not as wide open. Can you trust Tom Brady going to Lambeau and beating Aaron Rodgers? It depends what Tom Brady we're going to get. The only team I can probably see I can see Seattle beating them, but I don't have Seattle beating the Rams. I can see New Orleans Saints, but I'm actually picking the Bears to beat the Saints. So,
yeah.
Which means nothing, Will. I was crap this week. But
I was really good this week. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty good. I was on a hot streak.
The one thing that no one's figured this out except for the Saints, not the Saints, the Seahawks and 49ers. Pop them in the mouth. Pop them in the mouth. I know it's harder said than done, but that's the only way you're going to beat them. Time possession, time possession, time possession. You can't go match for match with Aaron Rodgers and throw the ball over the field, especially at Lambeau. But, yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a great game today. Yeah, they're going to have home field advantage. Woohoo! But he only threw the ball 24 times. He threw the ball 24 times for 240 yards. He had 4 TDs. That in itself shows you that he's a stat hog and that he only did it for the stats because there's no way he should have ran the ball in the red zone instead of throwing it to wide open raw receivers. And I'm going to say one thing that a commentator said he made one throw. He did only Aaron Rodgers can make that throw. Patrick Mahomes can easily make those throws that Aaron Rodgers does. I'm just tired of saying only Aaron Rodgers can do it. But whatever. I'm going to stop. You can go, comment.
What was the stat line for Rodgers today?
19 for 24, 240, and 4 touchdowns.
Let's not forget the first time he was 21 for 29, 211, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so he's just a cat hog. But whatever. Conman, going over to you. Do you think the Packers are the favorite in the NFC?
Absolutely. Me and Trey go ahead on this one. But as soon as I began with the network, I had said that Aaron Rodgers would win MVP. And I also said that Green Bay is going to definitely be going for the Super Bowl. If you notice, Aaron Rodgers, he's the most accurate passer in the NFL today, without question, even given his age. I know you guys are going to kill me because y'all don't like Green Bay, but if you look at his stats.
Oh, well, all right.
This is his time. Mark it down. Let Freddie know. If this is his time, he's going to get the MVP, and they're going to be have to be dealt with. They're going to be very good in the playoffs. Mark my word. You got to remember his window is very short. His window is very short.
God, it's like looking at Freddie 40 years in the future.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was gonna say, just mute your mic and get out of here.
Why is everyone saying that Aaron Rodgers is a runaway MVP? Who has more passing yards? Who's only the quarterback? What? No.
Josh Allen has more passing yards, leads the NFL.
Oh, did he beat Patrick Mahomes today? Because Patrick Mahomes didn't play.
Yeah, well, he was going in leading this upcoming week, and then passed even more today.
Oh, okay. But anyway, Patrick Mahomes is the only quarterback, and well, maybe Josh Allen too, but he's the top 3 in each passing category. His team's only lost 1 game. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has thrown less interceptions. He should have had 3 interceptions today. If the Bears could freaking catch a ball, Rodgers is MVP. Can't disagree much as I want. Why can't? Oh my! You don't watch these games, or you just look at these stupid stat lines. I'm telling you, these receivers are wide, stinking open. I don't understand it. I don't. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, put him side by side. I'm telling you right now, Patrick Mahomes is 10 times better than Aaron Rodgers is. And Patrick Mahomes is getting the freaking Michael Jordan, LeBron James treatment of the NBA, where he's too good and ceiling's way too high, where Aaron Rodgers is not that high anymore. And Patrick Mahomes has overtaken Aaron Rodgers as the best quarterback in the league. And that's why you're having this debate. It shouldn't even be a debate. Patrick Mahomes should be the MVP, but he's not going to win it because we have the media just like love Aaron Rodgers. I'm telling you, it's blasphemy. It's blasphemy.
You know what it is that at least this is my theory is that, yeah, throw that up there. This is my theory is that Aaron Rodgers had a down year last year, and I don't care what Freddie came on and said during the pregame, oh, you wish your quarterback would have a down year like Aaron Rodgers did. Okay, Aaron Rodgers threw 26 touchdowns last year. 2 years ago, Mitch Trubisky threw 24. I don't want to hear it. Have a down year. Okay, Mitch Trubisky had a good year, and that was it. Don't come after my quarterback whenever you've only been a fan of the team for 2 weeks. So, but for like Aaron Rodgers had a bad year last year and he's really stepped in. He's looked like the old Aaron Rodgers this year, and I can't take that away from him. But at the same time, this is what we expect from Patrick Mahomes. Now he's not blowing teams out and everybody's like, oh, he's having a bad year. Get out of here. Go look at the stats. Go look at the tape. Pat Mahomes is playing a great year. The MVP is not a runaway. Everybody just stop with that. I mean, because of who votes on the MVP, it probably will be a runaway. They're going to be stupid. Plus, the writers don't like to be wrong. So, Russell Wilson's going to get votes for some reason.
Which he should because he's never received a vote. He should
at least get a vote, but he shouldn't be the MVP. Let's get that.
Heck no. I wouldn't even be mad if Allen gets MVP, but Aaron Rodgers does not deserve MVP. I'm sorry. He's had 10 times better years than what he's having right now.
Josh Allen may get like a most improved, but I don't know if I don't know if he'll get the MVP. The writers are just so dumb. Like, I don't know. Give me an MVP vote. We'll get the right MVP in there. But yeah, so Bears playing the Saints. We heard that Trey is leaning for the Bears. We heard both of your predictions on the NFC leader. Conman, I'll turn it over to you real quick before we move on. Do you think the Bears stand a chance against the Saints?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. All right. Go back to mute. I liked you better when you were mute.
I got a question for him. I have a question. Why do you think the Bears don't have a shot against the Saints? They're winning overtime with Nick Foles.
Conman, why do you think the Bears don't stand a chance?
I am just not impressed with the Bears at all. I truly am not impressed with the Bears at all. I think the Saints have a better team. I think they're going to definitely beat the Bears without question. I mean, to me, it's very simple.
I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody has their takes, but I mean, yeah, Trey, I'm right there with you just because we took him to overtime earlier with Nick Foles, and obviously Nick Foles isn't the guy. And we've moved on. The first ever ASAP NFL MVP award would probably go to Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen. Let's all be real. No, there's enough Packers fans on here to mess that up. I don't want that award. Yeah, no. So it's one of those to where we went to overtime with the Saints, and I'm pretty sure not completely in overtime, but it almost came down to the wire in overtime too. It got kind of late, and it was Nick Foles, and I mean the Bears offense. Yeah, they didn't click well today. And really they did click well. It was going great until that stupid play by Bill Lazor, the play action boot play on 4th and 1 really stymied everything because now you're playing from even farther behind. Otherwise, it was a one possession game in the fourth quarter, and it's 21-16 Bears, and it's looking like a close game. And then all of a sudden you make that stupid play, turnover on downs, the Packers go score another touchdown, then an interception, and it got out of hand quick. But the Bears played the Packers a lot better this year, week 17 than they did in whatever week they played. It was a while back. I don't remember. But we looked a lot better. And I think our offense, obviously it didn't put up the big points, but really if it wasn't for those two big mistakes that the Bears made, the stupid 4th and 1 play and then the interception, then the Packers don't put up a lot of points in this game either. It was really a long and methodical game whenever it came down to it. It was just dink and dunk all throughout, just establish the run, really try to make every play count for at least some type of positive yardage. The Bears went 4 for 5 on 4th down. I mean, that really shows you the kind of game it was, just really trying to extend every single chance you get. And it was a nice little game from the Bears. I think though they didn't win, they should go in with confidence. They should go in against the Saints team who right now we don't know who their running back is because they're currently all under COVID, which would be interesting to see. The Bears held Alvin Kamara, at least from a running back side on that game. He had a great day out of the backfield catching, but not so much from running. And we'll see exactly what all can happen with the Saints. But I think it'll be a closer game than people expect. I think the Bears are a team to look out for, at least in round one. I think Trubisky knows he's going to be out there playing for a contract, really. If whether it be with the Bears or whether it be with somebody else, I mean, he's come on as of late. He's looked a lot better. Yes, he's still due for about an interception a game, and I mean that's just who he is. But we all know that. We know who he is at this point. He's not the worst quarterback in the league. But, he's shown that the Bears can have some offensive upside. 4 straight games going into this with 30-plus points. So, I mean, it really shows that they do have a chance with Mitch Trubisky there at quarterback. So, we'll see exactly what the Bears are able to do against the Saints. That'll be an interesting 2-7 matchup. But till then, we'll turn it over to the next one. Nate, go ahead. Switch to slide. Oh, speaking of the Saints. Hey, there you go. The Saints 33-7 over the Carolina Panthers, who are terrible. This should be a quick game. The Saints were trying to go for the number 1 seed. Doesn't matter. Ha, we didn't let you have it. We would rather face you. So we lost on purpose. No, so the Saints ended up just spanking the Carolina Panthers. Really nothing to be excited about. I guess the big storyline with this game is that the reports came out that Drew Brees is expected to retire after the season. That would be probably the biggest storyline of this. So Trey, just give me a quick thoughts on this game and what do you see from Drew Brees later on? I mean, talk a little bit about the legacy Drew Brees has left on the Saints.
Oh man. Okay, so about this game, it was closer than 33-7. I'm not gonna lie. It was going into halftime. It was right there. It was close, but then Panthers just lay an egg and they just did whatever they wanted to do. Taysom Hill had a good day. No running backs. Panthers nailed it in. But let's just be honest with ourselves. This ain't the same Drew Brees as it was. That's why I'm picking the Bears. I think if you get a pass rush against Drew Brees, I think he's gonna flinch, especially with those broken ribs that he had, which is a shame because he's actually one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm just saying that I don't know who the running backs are going to be next week. I don't even know. It depends on when the game's been played. The game's played on Saturday. You can kiss Alvin Kamara and the running backs goodbye because of COVID. You have to be out for 10 days or 2, something like that. I can't remember all the rules. So that's going to be enough. And you can't lean on Taysom Hill all game long. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, he's a good athlete, but he's not a good quarterback. He can't carry a team. Now, Drew Brees' legacy, if this is potentially his last run, which I hope, in all honesty, I hope it is because he's a great man. He's a great family man.
Let's be honest. He needs to get out while he can still save face. Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm going with that. He's a great family man. He loves his family. He wants to play with his kids. He doesn't want to not be able to play with his 4 children who are awesome in every stretch of the imagination. What he's done for the league and the way he's transcended the league, that opened the doors up for the smaller quarterbacks. Because remember, there was no such thing as a small quarterback. Drew Brees opened that doorway for the likes of Kyler Murray, for the likes of Russell Wilson, for the likes of, I can name, the list goes on, and to give him an opportunity. And we see how the game transcended and then to the air raid offense that it is right now. Now, granted, Sean Payton had a lot to do with that. Sean Payton took him under his wing and made him a better, because let's just be honest, in San Diego, he was not that good. But he saved himself. Sean Payton, he made a great business decision going to New Orleans under Sean Payton, then going to Miami. The Miami doctors did them a favor and let him prolong his career to go even longer than what it probably should have been, because he would have got killed in Miami. Let's just be honest. So, saying all that, I just think what he's been a great ambassador for the league. He's won 1 Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to win 2. He's just a great guy. And I'm going to be honest with you. I never liked Drew. And this is a weird relationship I had with him. I love him as a person outside the field, but I never liked him on the field. I don't understand it until recently. I don't know. It's because of his way he claps his hands or the way he always does something like that. I don't know what it was. It was just something. I just irritated. Then Aaron Rodgers showed up. I'm like, all right, this guy's not half bad. But Aaron, if this is his last year, I congratulate you, Drew Brees, on a fantastic career, because I guarantee no one saw this career coming from you, coming out of out of Purdue. So, yeah. So, and he came from Westlake, Austin area. shout out to them. So that's my area. So, but I'm just happy that he's got to finish his career right. He hopefully get to walk off the field, wherever it ends, with his family, with his head held high instead of on a stretcher, because I think that he needs to go out that way. Him and Tom Brady both. I think that they both deserve not to be injured for their career. And I think that this injury was a wake-up call. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be done after this year.
All right, Con, man, we'll turn it over to you. You said the Saints. You're taking the Saints undoubtedly over the Bears. How far do you think the Saints can make it with this roster right now? Don't forget to unmute your mic.
Here we go again. I think that sorry guys, I think they can get one playoff win. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I think they can get one playoff win. Again, you know, as Trey said, Breeze has had a great career. He's been great for the game. He's a true professional, and I think they got one win in the playoffs, but they'll at least get one win.
All righty, fair enough. I mean, Drew Brees. I would love to see him go out. I'd love to see Drew Brees go out on top, similar to how Peyton Manning did. I'd love to see it, really, but that comes to the expense of my team. So piss off, Drew Brees. But really, Drew Brees is one of the greatest to ever do it. I will never say there's a GOAT. He is one of the greatest to ever step on to a football field at the quarterback position. I mean, he's been phenomenal. Like Trey said, he's transcended the game. There's not a lot of quarterbacks back in the past that would step out on the field at 6 foot flat and you'd be comfortable with them throwing behind an offensive line made of human giants. I mean, it's just and to do it so successfully over the years, to be so phenomenal at his craft and to be such a good guy for the league. I mean, it's been one of the guys that you've never heard any allegations about, or you've never heard anything bad about Drew Brees. Just a guy who's had a clean record, a good family man on and off the field. Phenomenal stuff for the league. Drew Brees, no matter how long you've made it, no matter how far you go into this playoffs, thank you for everything you've done as an NFL fan and watching the NFL. So we'll switch it over to the next game. Chargers, Chiefs. Basically, the Chargers versus the backups. For some reason, the Chargers were trying to make it close. I remember this game, for some reason, was tied at a point. I want to say at 21-all, and it shouldn't have been. I mean, if you're a football team and you're the starting football team, you should beat the backups. So congrats to the Chargers. You finally did it. Anthony Lynn, you're going to be gone in a week. So let's just – what's that, Trey?
He'll be gone tomorrow.
He won't even make it to Monday. He didn't make it on the plane. But yeah, no, the Chargers, I mean, congrats. Somehow, honestly, you know, we talk about how bad Anthony Lynn is. 7-9, not a bad record to end out on. Shout out to the Chargers, even though you were bad, I guess you were okay. I mean, you weren't horrible. It's just the AFC is so good that you just didn't stand a chance. When it comes down to it, Justin Herbert, I mean, obviously Justin Herbert, a bright spot of this team going forward. Anything worth anything, Trey, from this game? Anything you got for it?
No, I think the Chiefs basically set everyone out, because we all know what, if you look at the history, 15-1 record teams going to the playoffs don't usually win the Super Bowl, believe it or not. The Panthers, they went 15-1. They got demolished by the Broncos. Brandon Herrera's Minnesota Vikings with Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. That team went 15-1, and they even make the NFC Championship game. So let's just be real. This is all about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, Rookie of the Year, but I didn't see that coming. If you ever watched him play at Oregon, he was horrible. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but he wasn't accurate as he is right now in the NFL. The only thing that's scaring me right now is that they did finish 7-9, and Anthony Lynn might be able to keep his job just because of that. Maybe just a slimmer of hope, because, I mean, who else are you going to get? I don't know who else is out there. There's not a big coaching hierarchy right now. I mean, there's really not. But I just want to admit that I was wrong about Justin Herbert for a minute. I'm an Oregon guy. I love Oregon. I love everything about Oregon. I watched every Oregon game when he played. He looked not like a number one pick. He looked like a third string backup in the Arena League. I'm going to just be honest with you. The way his game was going to trend, he was not accurate at all. What he's done in his first year, looking like a seasoned veteran, This guy has proven a lot of people wrong, including me. So congratulations, Justin Herbert. I'm glad you proved me wrong. I have no problem eating humble pie. Now, can you progress and get better and better and better and become one of those elite? Because you've already proven you're the best quarterback in your draft class by every stretch of the imagination this year. We all know Tua is a joke. So
what about Joe?
I forgot about Joe if he's injured. I did forget about Joe. I still think Justin Herbert's going to beat Joe. I really do. I think. But sorry, Cam. I don't think Joe's going to be a bust. I think both teams have their quarterback that good. I think they have them right where they need to be. They're both happy where they're at. But if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm telling you're not drafting another skill player until you get that offensive line fixed.
You both need an offensive line more than anything.
Yeah, at least Herbert can run and scramble a little bit. Joe Burrow,
whatever speed Joe Burrow had has just been lost.
Exactly what I was trying to get to. So. Yeah. That's the only thing good about this game. So,
shout out Justin Herbert. Hey, shout out to you, Justin Herbert. I actually believed in you coming out of college. I thought you were the second best quarterback in this class.
You have that on tape?
I have it on text somewhere. I can find it. Definitely not on tape. I did not have a podcast yet during. Definitely not. That was actually my first ever episode was a draft recap, and I don't know if I said anything about Herbert in that. I may have. Who cares? But Conman, we'll turn it over to you. Do you think Justin Herbert is the clear Rookie of the Year favorite? And do you agree with Trey that you think Justin Herbert may have a better career than Joe Burrow?
You know, for once, I'm definitely going to agree with Trey on this one. I think Justin Herbert. I think that he's going to have a way better career. I definitely think he will. They're both very good. Burrow, it seems like he might be injury prone. That always can play a part in a role, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. But I think right now, based on the skills right now, the skill set, I think Justin Herbert would be a better player in the future.
Can I say something? Why I think why I think Herbert's going to be a better quarterback, and I think Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. No one's going to want to go to Cincinnati. I'm just sorry. They're going to go to LA. They're going to want to go to LA and live that lifestyle. They're going to get more of the free agents. They're going to get more of the attractions. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to have to draft well, as Coach Cam will probably allude to you. That's probably what's going to happen and address your offensive line. But I think that's the only reason I think Justin Herbert's going to do better, because I think that he's going to get the better free agencies, and I think he's going to get the better people, camaraderie, whatever I'm trying to say, better people around him earlier than what Joe Burrow is, because I think Joe Burrow is going to have to be a project kind of 3-4 years down the road.
If I'm not mistaken, Chargers were a 5-win team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 2-win improvement. Justin Herbert, look out. Just saying. But really, both quarterbacks are just in a bad system with bad head coaching and bad offensive play calling, with minimal weapons as well. It's a tough situation for both quarterbacks. But hey, that's why you're picked number 1 and number 6, because your teams suck. But congratulations, Justin Herbert. You had an amazing rookie season, honestly. One that a lot of people did not see coming. I can honestly say that. But phenomenal job, Justin Herbert. You're looking great. So, any other games moving on here? Next slide. I don't know if that's the final one. I think we're getting to the end. Why? The Seahawks, we've talked about them. They're going to be facing the Rams here in the first round of the postseason. Going into the number 3 seed, they were able to upset. I shouldn't say upset. They should have easily won this game. They were able to take down the 49ers and CJ Beathard by 3. Oh, wow. Breaking news. We have breaking news here on ASAP Network. Adam Gase finally fired. It's finally official. Jets officially part ways with Adam Gase. Shout out. It's been meaning to happen. And now we know that whoever's going to be the quarterback of that team or whatever's going to happen is going to have a new coach. So shout out to you.
Who's going to want to be that head coach?
Not me. But somebody else, preferably. Coach Cam, I hear you are applying for. No, I'm kidding. That Bengals job might be open too. We'll see. But yeah, the Seahawks only able to put up 3 points, a 3-point win over the 49ers. And if I'm not mistaken, their starters played in this game, correct? not good. Not a good look. But the 49ers have been a team that have played a couple of teams really close, really tight. Honestly, if injuries didn't plague them, this is a much more entertaining team. And honestly, the toughest division in the NFL. If the 49ers are healthy, come on. It's not the toughest division if you only win 6 games and you can win. Okay, I'm just saying. But, I mean, I guess the AFC North is pretty good.
That's where I was going.
All right, fair enough. But fair enough. 3 teams all finishing with at least 11 wins. I'll give you that. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely okay. I'll rephrase. Definitely the best division in the NFC. Definitely more competitive 1 through 4 whenever you're looking at it. And I think honestly, 1 through 4, it would have probably still been the best division, because I don't know if the 4th place team in this division would compete with the Bengals. But nonetheless, I'm not here to slander Coach Cam's team. The 49ers, a team who's been very who plays nitty and gritty anyway. They've made something happen, but Seattle able to pull it out. Their defense is very suspect. I mean, does anybody really have anything to say about this game? Trey, do you really have anything to add to it?
For some other reason, I don't understand what goes – like, I don't understand the Seahawks. I really don't. The beginning of the year, their defense looks like crap. And then they get their defense kind of figured out. They figure out their weakness. And then their offense starts to like – I mean, I can't figure the Seattle team out. That's why I'm not picking them to win next week against the Rams. They barely scored 10 points against the New York Football Giants. They only scored – they took them all the way till the fourth quarter to get over 16 points against the not healthy San Francisco team. So I just can't figure this. And I love Russell Wilson. I want him to get another Super Bowl. I want him to be the man. Let Russell cook, baby. I mean, that's all I'm about. But I just don't trust him. There's too many holes in this. I love Abrams on the defensive side. I love DK Metcalf. I think he's the top 3 receiver in the league. I love Tyler Lockett, but he's not as good as he was a couple years ago. That offensive line kind of scares me a little bit. In the running back situation, they get hurt way too easy. They're always injured. When you have Russell Wilson as your leading rusher, it's not always good sign to come in the playoffs. So that's the only reason. For some other reason, I don't understand it. NFC West cannot score against each other. It's always a close, low-scoring game.
20-17, 23-20. I mean, these are actual scores that happen between these teams. 26-23 now. I mean, it's never that exciting. But
I will say this, San Francisco, you're going to get a lot of their players back next year. You're going to get your defense back. I think they need a new strength and conditioning coach. Whatever he was doing this year totally sucked. I've never seen so many injuries in my life, and I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So, I think if you get all of them back and healthy and they stay healthy, San Francisco could easily return to the Super Bowl in the next couple of years for sure.
Hopefully a new quarterback, but only time will tell. Conman, we'll turn it over to you. How much faith do you have in the Seahawks going into the playoffs? They're facing the Rams first round. Obviously, they got to get past them first. How much confidence do you have in the Seattle team?
I stated before I picked the Rams to beat Seattle. Again, a couple weeks ago, I had Seattle going a lot further, but as Trey was saying, they're very inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. I'm still going to go with the Rams over Seattle. I can't see Seattle beating them, although they do have some good weapons. Metcalf's a beast, but I think that the Rams are going to get them.
All righty, Nate, go ahead, change the slide.
That's it.
Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter. The Raiders won. This game means nothing. Literally, we're not going to even spend time on this game. We're literally not going to do it. Congratulations to the Raiders. You finished 8-8 again. Okay, 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. Congrats on mediocrity. Both teams suck. It's the toilet bowl. This game took way too long. No, we're not breaking down this game. Can we agree? Trey, you're good. Conman, thumbs up. We're good. Don't need to do it. All right. Yeah, this game is terrible. All right, that's the final game. I know that for a fact. So, man, we've hit up all the games, kinda, and we've hit up all the playoff matchups. So, we've reached our end here on the post game recap. Currently, hey, if you wanted a little update, Currently, the Eagles have the ball with 7:21 in the second quarter, and the football team's up 10-7. So that could be an interesting matchup. Watch out for that. Playoff contentions on this one. If the Washington football team wins, they take on the Bucs. If not, the Giants take on the Bucs. The playoffs will run through one of those two teams, and that's but until then, for Conman, for Trey, and myself, being Will Polston.
Wait.
Oh gosh, pause. What?
Hopefully he didn't leave us. But anyway, this week we are starting debates again. And
Oh, yeah.
two of us tomorrow night are debating each other. Rematch. So please, everyone, come and watch, share our show, share it, whatever. But it's a big tournament this time. It's not just 4 people.
Everybody's in the network.
Everyone is in it. So Conman's in it. Will and I, we're starting it off tomorrow because we got to start off with a bang. And I'm going to be more prepared this time. And it's going to be electrifying. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go hard on you tomorrow. I'm sorry. But
that's fine. I'll be ready.
Make sure if you have nothing going on tomorrow night, which you shouldn't because it's Monday night, there's no Monday Night Football or anything like that, come tune into the debate starting tomorrow night. So can't wait to see y'all.
Trey and I will be leading it off, if I'm not mistaken, right after Real Talk. And so we should be on right after that for the first round of the debate. The winner of that matchup will take on the winner of Mess Around Dave and Brandon Herrera. So that'll be the second round matchup. We'll see. But it's the rematch, folks. We saw the rematch. Trey didn't get exactly the fairest hand in that one. Trey needs a second. Trey needs a run back. He needs to run it back. So
you know what? I'm not the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I'm not crying because I got a slate that hand. I took it like a man. I was not prepared. That's on me. But this time it's different. I'm staying up late tonight. I can't wait.
Definitely a humble loser, and hopefully, hopefully the same tomorrow. So, hey, I mean, I made second place. We'll see if I can make it all the way back through. And now I got to go through everybody. So we'll see if I can even make it through Trey tomorrow. But that'll start the debates tomorrow, right after Real Talk. Go ahead and catch us on that. But until next time, for everybody involved, Trey, Michael, and Nate behind the scenes, I'm Will Polston, and thank you guys for joining us. Take it easy.
Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Nate, did you make the slides for this?
Yeah.
Never again are we doing every game. Never. There is no reason post game is an hour 22. The fact that we almost hit halftime on a post game show is absolutely not.
Well, to be fair, we also didn't start till almost 7:00 because that one game didn't end until almost 7:00.
Yeah, that's why we weren't going to cover it. That game's stupid.
But there
was a lot of games on that. That was a lot.
Well, I think we had to because it was the last time we were going to talk about all the teams.
Fair, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's the last time. I mean, now it's going to get real. I mean, I don't.
Those games are going to be pretty short after this.
Let's be honest with ourselves. No one's really watching this game. No one cares.
This game? Oh, this game, like football, Washington Eagles. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nobody. I'd rather just watch Real Talk.
Hey, Eagles are out.
Yep, they are.
Eagles took the. Oh my God.
Exactly. I know my luck, man.
Hope it comes down to a last-second field goal.
Actually, you said nobody is watching this game. I have a feeling 2 people are because of a bet they made.
Not Freddie.
No, it wasn't Freddie. J-Mac and Brandon Herrera.
J-Mac and Brandon made a bet on this game?
Yes.
Why? What for?
If the Eagles win this game, J-Mac has to wear a
Oh yeah,
Vikings hat.
That's stupid.
the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why? Why does the Eagles Washington game present a Vikings hat?
Because AMAC hates Minnesota.
So what does
And
that have to do with this game?
That has nothing to do with the Eagles and Washington.
He said he made the point, and he said that it doesn't matter what quarterback Washington is going to start. Eagles are going to probably lose this game anyways.
Someone needs to fix con man's mic.
Hey,
Well,
he
he just
did not-
can't find your computer.
he did not mute or unmute the mic this whole time. I muted and unmuted it.
You did it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. I thought it was me for a while.
Shout out Nate.
Hey, I got a question.
What's up?
Do you think our entrance song is way too long?
That's why I was supposed to make new entrances.
Like, I think 15 seconds is perfect.
My entrance for Sportsman, it is literally 15 on the dot.
Yeah, that's what I read. Well, because people get turned off, like you just like you say, "Oh, we have to just music for like half a minute," and you're like, "No, I'm done."
Right. If you tune in right at the beginning, you're like, how long is this going to go?
Exactly.
But,
I don't like that either. You need something upbeat like we have, but it just needs to be better graphics too.
I would have gone with something else, but that's the only one StreamYard does, and I don't want to, pay for the upgrade. So
well, that's why I was gonna make them, but I've just been busy.
Hey, I got a question. Is StreamYard free?
No.
Depends. If you're going with the simplest account, then yes. But if you go with their pre-made plan and all that kind of stuff, then no.
Hey, we're still live.
Oh, whoops.